What if I told you success isn't about talent, hustle, or even luck? That the most brilliant scientists, artists, and entrepreneurs, people we call overnight sensations, were actually invisible for years, until one moment changed everything? And that moment wasn't random. It followed a pattern, a hidden formula. This is not self-help hype. This is science. And in the formula, the universal laws of success, physicist Albert-László Barabási doesn't just ask what makes people successful. He cracks open decades of data to reveal the cold, counterintuitive laws beneath. Barabási isn't some motivational guru. He's a network scientist, the guy who mapped how viruses spread, how information flows, how connections shape our world. And when he turned that lens on success, everything we thought we knew collapsed. So let's go back to a quiet lab, 1987. A young biologist named Carissa, working late, discovers a protein no one's ever seen. She publishes her findings. Nothing happens. Years pass. Then, boom, one citation, then 10, then hundreds. Overnight fame? No. She'd been working for over a decade, but now suddenly the world sees her. Why then? Why not earlier? Because success doesn't come from performance alone. Performance drives recognition only after recognition has already begun. Let that sink in. You can be the best in the world at what you do. Paint, code, write, heal, and still vanish into silence, unless the system sees you. Barabási calls this the performance recognition paradox. We believe the best rise to the top, but data shows the first burst of attention decides who gets to keep rising. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. Small at first, but once it starts, momentum takes over. Now meet Jackson Pollock. In the 1940s, he was painting in obscurity, drinking, broke, barely noticed. His drip paintings were called messy, ridiculous. Then, Peggy Guggenheim gives him a show. Critics pounce. Suddenly, he's the name in modern art. Was he suddenly better? No. But the network amplified him. And here's the law. Success equals performance times visibility times timing. You need skill, but skill is the price of entry. The multiplier? Visibility. Who sees you, when, and how they talk about you. And timing? Being in the right conversation at the right moment. Take Nobel laureate Andre Geim. Same man who won an Ig Nobel for levitating a frog with magnets. Then a real Nobel 5 years later for graphene. Same brilliance, two wildly different receptions. One brought laughter, one brought history. Why? Context, narrative, attention. Which leads us to law number 2. Teamwork fuels. Breakthroughs, but only the lead gets remembered. Barabási analyzed millions of scientific papers, found something disturbing. Teams win, but individuals get credit. When a solo researcher makes a discovery, they get full glory. But when a team does, the first author soaks up most of the recognition, even if others did equal work. It's not fair. It's human nature. We crave heroes. So, if you want to be seen, don't just join a team, lead one. Be the face. Be the storyteller. But here's the twist. You can't force recognition. You can only position yourself to be found when the spotlight swings your way. Enter law number 3, the Q factor, your hidden potential. Barabási introduces a radical idea. Each of us has a Q factor, a measure of our ability to turn ideas into impact. It's stable, like IQ, but for influence. 2 people with the same idea. One launches a movement. One fades. Why? Different Q. But here's the hope. Q isn't fixed by birth. It grows through networks, persistence, and daring to ship. You don't need to be the smartest. You need to be the one who connects, iterates, and refuses to disappear. Now picture this. 2 startups, identical tech. Same founding year. One gets funding, press, users. The other vanishes. No difference in performance. Just network position. Barabási's research shows where you sit in the web of connections determines your odds more than raw ability. You're not just judged by what you do, but who knows about it. Which brings us to law number 4. Preferential attachment. The rich get richer. Ever notice how famous actors keep getting cast? Or best-selling authors dominate bestseller lists? It's not just quality, it's cumulative advantage. Once you're seen, you're more likely to be seen again. Like a popular Instagram post, gaining likes faster than a new one, even if the content is similar. In science, the most cited papers keep getting cited. In music, hit songs stay on charts longer. We follow signals. We trust popularity as proof of value. So how do you break in? Not by waiting to be perfect, by creating multiple shots on goal. Barabási studied careers across fields: art, science, sports. One pattern screamed out, impact is evenly distributed across time. That is, your next big hit is just as likely to come in year 1 or year 20. Van Gogh painted for a decade without selling a single piece. His first major sale came after his death, but he kept going. Because output matters. Persistence matters. Which is law number 5. Success can come at any time, but only if you keep going. There's no expiration date on breakthroughs, but there is a minimum threshold. You have to still be in the game. Consider Samuel Beckett. Failed student, fired from his teaching job, rejected everywhere. Then at 45, waiting for Godot premieres, changes theater forever. Or Julia Child, who didn't even learn to cook until she was 36. Published her first cookbook at 50. Success isn't linear, it's unpredictable, but it favors those who refuse to quit. Now, here's the dark side. Barabási found that when failure comes early, we blame the person. When success comes late, we call it genius. But often, it's the same person, same effort, just different timing. So what do you do while you wait for the wave? You build your network. You share your work. You collaborate. You experiment. And you understand. Your performance doesn't guarantee success, but without it, nothing else matters. Let's pause. Look around you. The app you're using, the music playing, the vaccine that saved lives. None of it came from lone geniuses in garages. They came from people who mastered the ecology of success. Who knew when to push, when to wait, when to connect? Back to Carissa, the biologist. She didn't become famous because she finally made it. She became famous because someone influential cited her paper. That citation was a spark. And because her work was solid, because her Q factor was high, the fire caught. One connection, that's all it took. Now imagine, what if you're one insight away from your spark? What if the right person saw your project next week? What if the collaboration you're nervous to propose becomes your breakthrough? Barabási doesn't promise fame. He reveals the rules of the game. And the most powerful truth? You don't need to be the best. You need to be available when opportunity knocks. Because success isn't a solo climb. It's a dance between talent, timing, and visibility. Between doing great work and making sure the world can find it. So ask yourself, are you hiding your best ideas, waiting to be ready? Or are you putting them into the stream, knowing that one ripple could start a wave? Because here's the secret they never tell you. The moment you're seen might already be closer than you think. Ready for more insights like this? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's keep growing together.